We are live. So we are live. We are live. And I am Kevin O'Shea, aka BusanKevin on the YouTubes. A runner in Kobe, Japan, originally from Canada. And tonight I would like to welcome you to episode number 6 of Running in Japan, the show all about running, well, in Japan and running in general. And I am I always like to introduce myself as a mid-pack marathon runner, and who is in the, I would like to say in the middle of training for a marathon, but it's actually near the end of it. And joining me tonight is my co-host tonight.
Hello, Scott Brown, Osaka.
And Scott is a runner from Australia. And I see, here we go. Looks like we appear to be live. There we go. It's working out well. All right, cool. All right, I see us. Yay! Seems to be working this week. So here we are for episode number 6 of Running in Japan. And the previous 2 weeks we've had some technical issues, and it's been nothing to do with us. Just Google and YouTube have been having a lot of kind of compatibility glitches, and I know that not just our show, but a lot of others, even like 2.5 Voyages on Wednesday nights, shows throughout the week, people have been having the exact same issues where they post their show and it doesn't go live to YouTube on their channels. So it's not just us, but here we are. It seems to be working, which is awesome. We got a few people watching. Hey guys out there, whoever you are watching, thank you very much. And again, here we are, myself, Kevin, and Scott, and we are here to talk about running in Japan, and not just about running in Japan, but running in general. You don't have to be in Japan to watch our show. If you are just a runner in general, if you are someone who is thinking about running, or just thinking of getting in shape or this or that, or interested in the whole kind of concept of running, this might be something for you. Yeah. So Scott, how you doing?
Very good, pretty good. Had a pretty nice week.
Yeah. How did your week? So just for all of you out there who are wondering, both Scott and I will be running the same race. We're both running the Osaka Marathon. It's the second Osaka, an L there? Osaka Marathon. I swear to God, I haven't had too many of these yet, but it sounds like I have. The second Osaka Marathon, and we're both running the full marathon. We both ran it last year, actually.
Yep.
And we're running it again this year. And when is that?
November 25th.
Coming up soon.
Just over 4 weeks until D-Day.
5 weeks. I like to say 5 weeks. It makes myself feel better for someone who's been basically under training. But actually, as someone who feels like he hasn't been training very much, I felt very good after Sunday's long run. But first, we'll start with your week. So tell us about your previous week of training, Scott, towards you running the Osaka Marathon.
All right. Well, like maybe if you watched last week, I had my sinus trouble, so I had a few days off. But I started my week, which was Sunday. I start Sunday to Saturday. That was fine. I just did like a 32K run, and I was back on track after my sickness. Monday, I ran a double session in the morning, 10, and about 12 or 15 in the evening. Tuesday was okay. I just ran one, and I had to work, but I ran like one session of about 15K. But I took Wednesday and Thursday off. It was raining. I mean, normally I don't do that. I like to run in the rain. I always have. But I think I put it down to I've been running consistently since mid-July. Mm-hmm. Basically, I feel burnt out. I really didn't feel like it. I thought, no, I just don't want to run. So I keep telling myself if I ever feel like that, I'm going to stop, which I did. I just took 2 days off, and again, I'm not panicking. You're supposed to, I mean, at this stage, you shouldn't be taking time off, but I really had a strong feeling that I shouldn't run. I don't know why. Maybe it's just laziness, but you get burnt out.
Go with your gut, right?
Yeah, definitely. Your body's telling you something. I'm just going to mosquito. But your body's telling you something, and you got to listen. But the I can't. I have this trouble. I always think I'm going to try and build up for 18 weeks. I can't keep focused for that long. It's really hard. I think the short build ups, the intense ones, sort of suit me better. But I mean, just my personality better. But actually, they don't really help me. Short ones can be a real disaster if things don't work out. But I, I think to really run a good marathon, you need 18 weeks of solid effort. But I'm seriously, I can't concentrate for that long. But yeah, I mean, we're all the same. We're all the same, right?
I've had less than 18 weeks of half-assed effort, to be honest, on my part. But that's nonetheless, we're kind of different goals and expectations here.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, anyway, got back into it on Friday. It was a nice day again. And Saturday I ran a double session, 30K on Saturday,
Oh,
20 in
nice.
the afternoon and 10 in the morning. And yesterday I ran 36 and I ran well. It's the first time I fueled during my long run since I've been starting my long runs. This is my
Wow.
sixth or fifth plus 30K run, and I fueled yesterday. Every 10K I took something, and I was really feeling good. I didn't feel tired until I finished 33Ks and just jogged three home. And the three home, I felt I was tightening up, but those three 10Ks that I did at pace was about between 4:30 and 4 minute pace, all of the 10Ks, and I felt fine. That was like easy, and that's a good sign at this stage. So I was really happy.
Wow.
So I haven't been
I'm
this.
just curious,
Mm,
actually, about those. I guess I can get into it later, but with your long run,
mm,
you're saying those 10Ks, are you running that, do you run a set like kind of loop somewhere that you
yeah,
know, a pre-measured distance that you know that it's a 10K loop?
yeah. Near my home, there's a 5K out and back,
Okay.
and I do that twice, and it's relatively hilly. There's two long hills. Of course, you're going up and down, but it's relatively hilly, and it's undercover, like it's on a walking path.
Okay, so
But
you're not getting a lot of sun.
yeah, less sun, and it's not many people, and I can switch off. And actually, the first time too, I bought myself a little iPod Nano, what do you call it, Shuffle, on
Yeah.
uh, on Saturday, which is like $45 or something.
Hmm.
Amazing cheap. But these things I put in 250 songs, got 15 hours of battery life on it. So and that was the first time I listened to music in 4 months or something. But that also helped. Normally I don't when I run. I don't know why, but this time I thought I do when I run my short 10Ks. But when I'm long runs, I never listen to music. But this time I did, and that I put some good music on it. And I was just tried to keep the pace up. I was trying to keep under 40, under 42 for each 10K. So and that the music helped a lot, I think. So
Nice.
I did three of those, and just knocked them off really relatively easy. I think it's because I was fueled up too, and I had a few days rest. So
Okay.
it's gonna be good for Osaka, I think. If I don't PB, I'm gonna have to look at my whole training. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong, but I feel like
And by the way, for all of you out there who are wondering when you're hearing those times that Scott's talking about, like running a sub 42 minute 10K, Scott is a sub 3 hour marathon runner consistently, just so you know. I'm, on the other hand, one person who has once hit a sub 4, and my running week wasn't as quite as active as yours. And I got to admit, not going to make any excuses here. I've had a pretty lackluster training cycle. I ran out 4 times this week. I ran. Let's see what I did here. I did uh, on on Monday. I went out and I did a five. I did like a 5K at lunchtime, and then did like a 3K in the after in the evening. On didn't run didn't run on Wednesday. Thursday I went out and I did a 7K.
in the
Didn't run
rain. No,
on
it was pouring rain
Didn't
Thursday.
run on Friday.
Uh,
And on Saturday, I ran 10.5K, and I walked about 5. And then yesterday, Sunday, I ran 31. and I walked about 3, and then stood. I think this counts. I also stood for about 2.5 hours as well after that fact. But my long run, I did my long run yesterday, and my long run is more. They tend to be exploratory. I tend to just kind of roam through Kobe, and I'm very reliant on my iPhone, and I'm very reliant on. I've got a really wonderful running app. I've tried over the years a lot of different running apps. I've got one called Runkeeper.
Hmm.
And Runkeeper is great. These guys were really awesome. This is about a $5 app. They gifted it to me. This company, Avio, it's called. Last year when I was doing my 60K kind of charity run where I was raising money for Save the Children of Japan, and these guys gifted this to me when they heard that I was doing it, which was my friend Steve, known as the Chi Ranger on YouTube. He mentioned it to them. He was already using this app, and he mentioned it to them in a tweet, and they gifted it to me. And it's a wonderful app, but it's got maps and everything. And the first, to be honest, the first 6 to 10K were just slow as hell. I was running like 6-minute kilometers. I was out the door yesterday morning pretty early, and then kind of the second 10K, I was running up kind of a lot around Roko Mountain, up and down the hills, or mostly up the hills. And again, slow, but not as slow. I was running that second 10K around 5:45 pace. And then once I hit that kind of last 11 kilometers, I was on flat ground, and the pace just picked up. And I brought it down to, overall in the general when I was done, was a 5:27 pace, which would set me up for, ideally, in a perfect world, a 350 marathon.
Which would be a PB, right?
Which would be a PB. My PB is 3:59, actually.
I wanted to say about that. When you said that, I thought you shouldn't panic about your lack of training for this cycle. What I tried to also trying to get through to people, in my experience, is not this cycle. It's what you did 2 years ago. So you're
You mentioned that often to me.
That's the thing. I mean, people don't realize. They think, oh, okay, I had a bad cycle this weekend, but you're building on really what happened 2 or 3 years ago. So your 60K long, you're running at even slow pace, but you've built up a base. You got this huge base. These guys like Haley Gebrselassie, all these type of guys, they don't run. Some of them, sometimes they have like weeks off, right? And they have whole weeks off, but they're ready to go all the time because they've got such a huge base. They're ready to go all year, even if they don't run like a lot. They've built up a base over like 20 years of running.
Yeah.
And it's that fitness will keep going, and suddenly you'll have a race. I mean, I've had races on really bad build-ups. Where did that come from, you know? And you'll find the same thing.
To be honest, yesterday, easily I could have run a full marathon distance. Easily.
Yeah.
Like when I finished at 31, I felt great.
It's interesting.
My legs weren't sore. My foot was not sore at all. My Achilles was fine. Sometimes I have runner's knee in my right knee. Nothing. I literally felt great. I could have just kept on trucking, but
what is home. It's a pity you just couldn't put yourself into the marathon. Yeah, you might. Yeah. Sometimes I worry when I do those. Like yesterday too, I had a really good run, and I was thinking, oh shit, I've peaked too early. So I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I plan on next weekend. I plan on having push it a bit further, maybe 35.
But if I was you, I would go into the marathon. I wouldn't go into the marathon jogging first. I'd go the first 10K, go on pace to PB, and if you don't feel like after 10K or 15K, if you don't feel like you're gonna do it, then back off and film or relax.
You feel I shouldn't try for the negative split thing?
No,
I should.
No.
Go.
I think go on pace at least a minute, because if you start to feel good, I mean, if you just jog and in your mind you say, oh no, I'm not going to PB today, I'm just going to enjoy myself, but you are really fit and you don't know it, right? By the time you get to halfway and you still feel good, it might be too late to go the second half to.
Well, the funny thing is that physically, to be honest, I'm heavier now than I was probably when I set my PB before. I'm heavier and I don't appear to be as fit, but I think internally
you would be
I'm more fit.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. You are. I mean, 2 or 3, 4 kilograms not really going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Uh, as long as
That's actually where I am about. I'm actually probably about 4 kilograms heavier than I was last year during my marathon. But
you're definitely
um,
stronger. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, yesterday's run seemed to show that to me. I was pretty shocked
Mm,
and happy. It gave me a lot of confidence. I was like, oh, yeah.
I can do it.
So kind of bouncing along here. Do you, the last few weeks we've been talking about different races. This week, do you have a
I'm gonna
race
race.
to
Yeah.
talk about this week?
Let me pull it up.
A race in
Uh,
Japan. So that's the thing. The last few weeks, folks out there, Scott has been telling. This is kind of especially for those of you who are not in Japan, who are thinking about running, and you'd like to come to Japan to run a race. Scott's been here running for quite some time. He knows a lot about different races in Japan that he can introduce you to. And in the last few episodes, he's been talking about some different races. As I'm burping, giving beer burps here. And by the way, I'm speaking of Japan. I'm having a wonderful, wonderful Yona Ale tonight. And this
oh
is
man.
a,
You know, I was just talking to the woman in Lawson's. They ran out of Yona Yona. They've
that's
been
right. I just bought this. I just went out for a walk to Lawson's before I came. We did this show.
really.
This is by the Yoho Brewing Company, YohoBrewing.com. It's a craft brewery in Japan. This is like just top notch beer.
I've been drinking that for the last 2 weeks. I just love it. It's just amazing. I'm not. Some of the craft beer is like too hoppy, but that's just perfect.
Isn't it so much flavor? It's wonderful.
Yeah, a little bit expensive, but it's worth it. And
Yeah. Well, I'm not
good with
pounding back
food.
tons of it.
Yeah, good with food. Good with food.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
By case. But yeah, I was really impressed. And they ran out, right? My local woman said, "Look, you gonna get some more or what?" She said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I'll ask." But it's
So, oh, and I just wanted to quickly address a few comments here. I'm getting some comments in. A lot of people saying they like my new hair. Thanks, guys. Nick Ramsey is here. Nick is in the house. Hello, Nick. Thank you for joining us. We are live, and where is it now? Quickly, Frederick. Hey, Frederick in Switzerland. He asked me, what are your goals for the Osaka Marathon? I will tell you quickly my goals. To be honest, until this long run yesterday, my goal was just to have fun and just basically mess around and not even think about a personal best. But after that long run, it's popping in my head again, and I'm thinking 3:50, 3 hours 50 minutes. That's kind of a goal time, I think. But we'll see.
go for it. You should go for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go for it. And
You're
I
on
I
record
still
now.
might wear something a bit silly as well, by the way.
Really?
Not like a full-on friggin' big costume, but like I don't know, some antennae or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm an attention whore.
What are you gonna wear? Like a what?
Like antenna of some kind or something. I don't know. Nothing too major. I'll wear practical running gear now that I'm thinking that I have a chance at actually maybe getting a PB.
Just wear pink underpants and go for your PB.
Maybe a tutu. I don't know.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. What is your goal for this one?
Yeah, I really don't like saying it's
Okay, I don't want to jinx you.
no, but yeah, some people feel that, but I just feel like either people think you're one boasting, or again when you say it, I suppose it's just stupid. I don't like to say because
You're hoping for a personal best, though. We'll
professional
just say
best. So
that.
anything under 2:45
Awesome.
is happy for me. I
Awesome.
mean, the best for my age group, the best in Japan is like 2:31, 2:33 or something. But so there's no way I'm getting near there. But if I have a good day and I go under 2:40, I'll be wrapped. But they reckon you should have three goals. Of course, your best time, best possible time, something that you think you're really capable of, and then something you can deal with without feeling bad. So, okay, I'll say it. Best time 2:35, possible best. A time that I'd be still wrapped with would be 2:40 and or 2:40, and then anything under 2:45. If I don't PB, I'll be disappointed. But because
Cool.
I'm feeling better about it. Anyway,
Awesome. And here's just a quick question. Someone asked, and who asked this question? And this has got really nothing to do with us. Something we will never. Rex Mundy on YouTube asked, "What will the winner get?" So, do you have any idea what the prize is? Like the first place finisher gets, cash wise?
good question, good
I know
question.
Tokyo. It's like a million yen, isn't it?
I'll check it. I'll check it for
Like
him.
100,000, like more than 100,000 US dollars for Tokyo.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Osaka was offering that much last year. Otherwise, they would have got more quality runners.
Still a first year though, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah, they didn't need to. I think they're happy to remain a quality race without getting the big. They don't want the. I mean, not necessarily looking for the Kenyans to win it or like the big people to race, but one day they will. I think if they get to the top 10, they want some sort of elite
yeah,
runners running good times. So
yeah.
this year maybe they're going to pump the money up. I don't know, but I
It's
don't know.
something.
I'd be guessing if I said anything. I'll check it. I'll try to find out.
Right, cool, cool.
That guy, I like Brett Lana running in Japan. This guy's was a Canadian too. You know him?
Oh, is that the he's got the blog
Yeah. Running in Japan.
running in Japan. Yeah, yeah. That's I follow the Twitter feed and stuff. That's really good.
He's a,
Brett Lammer? Brett
yep,
Lammer?
yep.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
knows.
that's good. Yeah,
Well,
I've
he
heard
doesn't
YouTube. That's
know
a
about
great.
the Japanese running scene. It's not worth knowing. Yeah, he's really good. So he would
He's
know
really
that
tuned
sort
in
of.
there.
Yeah. I could just.
So yes, about this race, Scott. What
Okay.
race have
So
you chosen
all
for us?
right, I got one which is really. I mean, it's nice. It's down south, Okinawa. Everyone's heard of Okinawa, right? Okinawa. I'll just go off screen and just check this. Ishigaki Marathon. Have you ever heard of Ishigaki Island?
I've never heard of the Ishigaki Island.
It's you sound sound like I'm setting you up here. Um, it's south of Okinawa itself, south of the main island where Naha, the capital, is.
Mm-hmm.
It's right down. It's closer to Taiwan, I think, than it is to Naha, but it's a
Oh.
tropical paradise. If I mean, if you Google Ishigaki and just hit the the photo thing, you'll find it's just beautiful. It's like Hawaii type thing. So I mean, anything. It's like South Pacific, beautiful
Wow, yeah.
white beaches. Are you looking now? No,
I'm looking at now Ishigaki Island.
yeah,
I've got two
it's gorgeous.
computers here.
It's gorgeous.
Oh,
Uh,
oh yeah, that's amazing. It is like total, like kind of Hawaii tropical-esque, like white sand beaches, palm trees.
okay, that application opened. Okay, I'll tell you, they got three races. They got a 10K. This is open for high school kids and adults. Did I say? What did I say? 10K and a 23K, which is a strange distance.
That's a
And
broad distance.
I've never seen that before. And they got a full marathon, which goes all around the southern part of the island. But this island is accessible by mostly by airplane. But you go to Naha and you get another airplane from there. I sent two English girls down there in last year, 2000, no, 2011, and I tried to read the review from them just briefly, but I'll pull that up. But quickly, I'll tell you, it's opened October 1st, and it's got 40 days until it finishes, which is November 30th. You can apply online. Just go to the Ishigaki Marathon website. That's all in Japanese, so if you need any help, just let me know, and I can help you with
And by
that.
the way, for all you folks out there, go to samurairunning.com
Yep.
for this help. That's Scott's website, samurairunning.com, if you're interested in running. And I'm actually on Google right now looking at this Ishigaki Island. It's a stone's throw away from Taiwan.
Yeah, it's so close.
It's closer to Taiwan than Naha, than
Exactly.
the main island. And it does look incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let me just give me a few seconds to just check the what the girls said about it. But I sent this two lovely girls. They were like about 28 years old each, and they're decent runners. They won their age groups down there, and they just relayed to me that that was the most friendly and accepting people they've ever met. And they took them people after the race. They said that there was only about a handful of foreigners down there.
They were probably like celebrities, to be honest.
Oh yeah, exactly. And they went to
They probably got celebrity treatment.
a party later, and they got all their alcohol for free, and they were dancing with everybody.
Wow.
They joined a group of what they say retarded kids, but they're doing a conga line till 3 in the morning with these retarded kids, pissed out of their heads. But they said it was really good. It was really good. But that was the for so far, when I've sent somebody somewhere, that was the biggest wrap I've ever had from any one place. So it's worth going. I mean, not only for the run, but there's islands, and you can take little boats out, and there's smaller islands around Ishigaki too, which are more beautiful. But bicycles around the island, delicious seafood. Apparently, it's a paradise, and it's somewhere. That's one race that I plan to go. So, did I tell you that date? I didn't do that, did
No, when is it?
I? All right, 2013, the first January 27th, and the applications close November 30th.
Okay, great.
So that's a perfect time because that's dead of winter here, right? But Ishigaki is still relatively cool. They said it was hot in the race, which means it got up to about in the mid 20s or early 20s. But they said they were hot. But it starts off like about 10 or 15 degrees. But that's a perfect time to go down there, I think. So I recommend that highly. I mean, not me, but some people that I've known.
That sounds pretty awesome. I'm looking at. There's not a lot of pictures up there, but there's some. Apparently, there's some kind of triathlon event there too.
Yeah, they said something about that too. It's
Pictures
it's
of
good too because it's relatively far away that you don't get the crowds, so you can relax and just apply right up to the deadline and not worry about missing out. But and also it's easy to get to. People think it's hard to get to. It's a piece of piss, really easy. By flights, there were boats. I think they cancelled the boats because they weren't reliable. But anyway, we can give you information on how to get down there and everything like that. We
Cool.
set it up for these girls, but they were happy with it.
That's right, guys. So again, for that kind of information, go to samurairunning.com and you can contact Scott there. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Now, I wanted to quickly. I mean, I don't want to go too. I mean, we're already a half an hour right now. But I just wanted to mention this week kind of an idea I had, and we both talked about it this week, kind of a bit. But when we talked about our training, we talked about our long runs, and this is kind of something I wanted to kind of focus more on people who are training for their first marathon, thinking about running a marathon, and they'll hear these terms thrown around. They'll hear terms like interval training. You'll hear fartlek training or tempo runs. You'll hear speed work. But one thing you'll hear that kind of sounds a bit daunting is long runs, and how most runners run long runs on the weekends. And you know, I'm posting on my Twitter, I'm posting on my Facebook that I ran a 31-kilometer long run, and that kind of seems pretty daunting, obviously, to people. So I just want to kind of basically very quickly introduce what a long run is and why one does a long run when training for say, for example, the first marathon, and why we do it, what the benefit is. So Scott, how would you kind of describe what a long run is?
Okay, well,
being a long run.
you've got to. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? But you have to run close to the distance that you're going to run. Otherwise, basically, for one, I think it's not that you can't do it, but a lot of times if you don't run close to that distance, like say there's people who have only ever run 5Ks or 2 miles or something, and then they enter the marathon, they get halfway into the actual marathon, and a lot of them will just really give up because they think, I can't do this, I've never done even close to this, and they'll panic, and a lot of them just to give up. But if you've done a couple of 30K runs or 25K runs, then that'll give you the confidence to get through. Nobody, even the pros, they don't run the full distance because that'll burn them out, right? But if you can run 25 to 30K at a reasonably close pace to what you want to run the marathon, you're going to do it, right? I think it's mostly for confidence, but there's also, you got to build up your okay, how can I say technical? So I'm not very good with the technical things.
I would say stamina is the term. It's not your cardio. I think a long run. It's
time on your feet, right?
I think it's a few different things. It's your stamina. You're building up not your cardio, you're building up like your actual physical, like the leg muscles. You're building up like time on your feet. Like when you're, for example, if you're running your first marathon, and I'm going to throw it out there for the average person, not your kind of gifted runner. Your average person, they're going to be on their feet for more than 4 hours. Right? That's a long time to be on your feet running. And the long runs build you up to that. They get you ready. They kind of set you up. To be honest, if you're my first marathon was 4 hours and 44 minutes. Your first marathon was what, 4:10, something like that?
I don't remember what my longest long run was for that first marathon. It
I did get over 30 because I actually, my next door neighbor, the guy literally in the next apartment, I live in an apartment, the guy in the next apartment, his name's Toshi, and he's a Japanese man, and he is in his early 50s, and he's still a runner. He doesn't run marathons, but he has run a ton of marathons in his life. And it just happened, luck would have it, as I'm training for my first marathon, literally the guy who lives about 10 feet away from me is a marathon runner. And he always told me that the basic rule is like 3 of 3. He told me you should have 3 runs over 30 kilometers in your training cycle. And I've always thought that was a good rule of thumb for like a beginner marathon runner. And so I just got my first one done.
Did you do that, your first marathon? Did you do 3?
I did 3 over 30. I took his advice. I think I may have hit them with 30 on, like roughly. I didn't have any kind of GPS device at the time. It was all going by my watch and trying to figure. I had a book called Running in Kobe, which mapped out some different routes, and I knew the loops. So I figured out from the map the loop was this, and I just used my stopwatch and figured it all out. But one thing I was reading today, I should say, is exactly what you said. Like running the long runs, if anything, and it happened to me yesterday. It's mental. Like, to be honest, I was feeling, until yesterday's long run, I was feeling, I'm just gonna like friggin' take this and have a good time. I'm not gonna even have a chance at a personal best. Let's just party it up and have a good time. And then yesterday's long run showed me that I was able to run pretty quick. But nonetheless, I mean, it made me feel good. Definitely. A confidence boost. Knowing that if you can run 30 kilometers, you can run 12 more. Or if you can run 32, you can run 10 more. So the long run is something, and you don't start off obviously at 30. You know, when you're doing your training cycle, from my experience anyway, it's like, you know, you start running your 5s and your 6s, your 8s and your 10s, and then eventually you'll do your first long run might be 14 or 15.
I remember we were talking at the end of August or early September how we couldn't even like do 20K without almost stopping because it was so hot. I couldn't imagine. It's just a build up, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't imagine at that time doing what I'm doing now. So.
Oh God! Well, I mean, that's also where we live with the climate too, right? It's really hard to train in the heat. So I feel for all those people who live in the southern United States where it's always hot.
My wife just asked me, "Are you Jewish?" I said, "Well, you look like a concentration camp victim." I said, "Yeah." Oh, she asked me just before, is he Jewish? I said, "No, it's not Jewish."
Not that there's anything wrong with Jewish people. Wonderful.
I've got a friend. My best friend is John Letman. He's a Jewish guy, and he looks a bit like you, I guess. He's the only Jew my wife knows.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So long runs. Long run is something that it's a basic part of marathon training. You're going to run these long weekend runs in order to build up that kind of stamina, the kind of endurance, the time on your feet. I think what it is. I do agree with some things I've read. I think it really is. The long runs, it's a mental thing, because I mean, I've heard people say that if you train well and you're fit, running a marathon is 100% mental and 10% physical. I've heard that kind of funny jargon used, and it really is. I mean, it's easy to give up.
Right, there was George Sheenan, that guy, that doctor, famous sort of guy in the 70s. George Sheenan, you don't know? You got to read his books. You love him. He's like a type of philosopher, doctor, but he was in his 50s, and he used to run close to 3 hours.
Okay.
And he was a good runner, but most people, I mean, a lot of actually he was Sarah Palin's quoted as Sarah Palin's best author.
Oh gosh.
But I mean, he's a good writer. He writes really well. And
Okay.
anyway, he said that if you also he never trained during the week. I mean, he was a busy guy. He was a doctor, GP, but he would run a race on Saturday and a long run on Sunday, and that
Okay.
would give him enough fitness to get him through anything. And he was a really good runner. I mean, one of the high-level masters runners, as well as a very cluey and interesting guy. But he died recently of, I think it was like pancreatic cancer or something like that. But 2 or 3 years ago. But have a check if no one has ever seen George Sheehan. He has a website and his books are fantastic.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just looking at the comment section, and my son Absalom,
Yeah.
who I
I
think
didn't know you had another son.
he's popped up on his comment. Christ, Kev's hair has been transplanted on Scott's face.
Somebody said last week, I love Scott's mustache.
and Nick Ramsey wanted to let us know Brett's site. It's called Japan Running News.
Yeah.
So all of you out there, Japan Running News, Google Japan Running News. It's an amazing resource for all like races in Japan, and you can find them on Twitter at JRN Headlines. JRN. Yeah, JRN Headlines. JRN Headlines. Japan Running News Headlines. It is a great resource. Thanks, Nick.
He's a great guy too. He puts a lot of effort into that. So I even donated to his site once or twice, and good guy. He's got no sense of humor. He wrote me once that when he read one of my tweets, he said, "You know, Scott, that's the only tweet I've ever laughed at." This is like one out of 11,700 tweets. So. But I mean, he's a Canadian, so you can't expect him to have much of a sense of
Oh, good man. We got humor.
humor.
We got humor. We have to. It's too cold. Yeah. So there we go. It is. It's about 40 minutes into it. Maybe we'll kind of cut her off soon. Just so all of you out there know, the last 3 episodes of Running in Japan are on the Run Because It's Fun channel. Okay. But what I'm going to do with this episode, I'm actually going to put this episode and keep it right here on BusanKevin. I am going to take it down tonight. I'm going to edit it up, tighten it up a little bit, and then I'm going to re-upload it in the next couple of days. So this is episode 6 of Run Because It's Fun. Not Run Because It's Fun. Running in Japan, which will be in Running in Japan, episode 6. This will be on this channel here, the BusanKevin channel. But what I want you all to do, please go over to the Run Because It's Fun channel. Maybe it's over there, maybe it's over here. I don't know. Actually, there'll be an annotation all around here. And because I can do that after the fact, I can make the annotation like this, and click on it. Go to the Run Because It's Fun channel. The last 3 episodes of this show are there. Future episodes will be there, and a lot of other things. And
I recommend the Nick Ramsey episode. That's when he loses it and starts throwing his clothes off midway.
Exactly. That's the episode. That's doing a strip tease.
He
And
does.
if you guys want to see Nick Ramsey naked, well, not naked, but partially unclothed, that's where you want to go Run Because It's Fun.
Very.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe we're embellishing a bit. But also, I think
judge for yourself.
I think it might be something too. You're going to see a lot of interesting things, I think, in the future happening on Run Because It's Fun. Go over there, subscribe. There's about 450 subscribers over there so far. Hopefully more people will become active and get involved. Leave comments, click the like button if you like the video, all that jazz. So, again, this video is going to stay here on the BusanKevin channel. The next episode will be over on Run Because It's Fun. So you want to go subscribe there, guys, gals. Now, as we end this episode of Running in Japan, Scott, how can we find you on the interwebs?
Okay. You can see me. Follow me on Twitter at Samurai Running, and I have a blog in the long run. How does that work? .blogspot.com.
Okay.
Yep, I got that one, and Samurai Running. So
So all those links, I'll put all those links below. So
Normally,
check the links below. You'll see Scott's name, Scott Brown, and all the links will be below his name. What the heck is? I'm sorry. I just there's Holy crap! Okay, the skies have just opened up. It was just before the show. I went outside for a short walk. It was a gorgeous starry night, and now
not supposed to rain tonight.
millions of gallons of rain are falling on us. Well, yeah.
Not
Okay.
raining here. Not raining here.
Yeah. So expect some coming your way, Mr. Brown. So as for me, if you're on this channel already, you know where I am, BusanKevin. You can also, I encourage you to go check out my running channel, Run 'Cause It's Fun. So YouTube.com/Run 'Cause It's Fun. That's where these running in Japan videos. That's really the home for these channels, and we're trying to grow that channel more. You can also find me on Twitter at JLandKev, 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 JapanLandKev, because I live in Japan. And you can also find me on Facebook at BusanKevin. So just write BusanKevin. I'll actually put a link below to my BusanKevin fan page. I feel kind of smug saying that, but my page, and that's where I'm pretty active. Mostly because
Facebook.
My Facebook fan page. Facebook recently put out an app to manage your fan pages, and because of that, I'm very active because I write a lot of stuff when I'm commenting or when I'm commuting. I interact with a lot of people, so I'm very interactive on my Facebook page, which I'm almost at 1,100 likes, which is awesome.
I stopped Facebook, but there was a reason. Somebody hacked my account and was sending bad links to all my friends and family, and especially some of my old students who had been following me on Facebook. I couldn't risk it being a teacher. If you get that sort of thing, people.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
But if Facebook still survives in the next few years, another couple of years, I'll give it, and then I'll go back onto it. But I expect it not to be in existence, but it's still tracking on, isn't it?
Yeah. So, well, they just reached over a billion users.
So I won't say anything yet. I won't give up on it yet. I'll just wait it out.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Scott, for joining us or joining me for another episode. Episode 6. This is really fun, a fun thing to do. And oh gosh, wow! Someone just wrote. Nick Ramsey wrote, by the way, I thought that video was private.
Sorry.
And then someone also wrote, no, we want to see Kevin striptease. Well, no, you'll never see that. Not live. You gotta pay big money for that. No. Even then.
Interesting to see how many extra hits Nick's video gets. Just want to see.
Nick's striptease video. There we go. The British runner in Gifu. There we go.
Going wild.
The nude runner in Gifu. Really isn't nude, guys. Okay, enough of that. So, folks, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back here next Monday evening, and you can check us out next Monday evening at 10 p.m. Japan Standard Time live. And if you miss us live, we'll be back. Actually, the video will be uploaded a couple of days later, and you can check it out on this channel for this episode, and future videos on the the running. Oh gosh, Run 'Cause It's Fun channel. Too many channels. All right, there we go. Bye. So, see you later from Kobe, Japan. Kevin here.
Osaka, Sakai City. I'll see you next week. See you, Kevin.
All right, guys. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.